Well, hello and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to start working on the old Blazer here. I'm going to get on the inside there and start stripping all the interior panels and stuff, and we'll go from there. So let's get started on that. Okay, I just took the dash mat off and give you an idea what's hiding underneath that thing. They sell these dash covers. We'll see if I get that fancy to start working on these A-pillar things now. Alright, so here's a look with the headliner out. I'll get the white stuff there off of that pillar. Visors will go back in. I may find some of that Dynamat sound dampener stuff and cover this up just to give it a little bit of some kind of covering to make it look like a headliner, but headliner and all that trim on the A-pillars is out. So let's get to working on this. Okay, it's all off. I have it all off down the sides. Around this upper piece, lights back in place. You do have to wipe some of the dirt off of that, clean it all up. But it's all off, headliner's down. A-pillars are all down, and the dash mat's back on it. So it looks normal again without a headliner falling down and without loose visors hanging down in your way. So, alright, tonight's adventure is to get this clip apart. The core supports are different between this guy and my Blazer in the shop there. So I decided I'm just gonna swap the outer and inner fenders and just throw this core support on the old junk truck there. So that's what I'm trying to do here, is separate the inner and outer fenders from this core support. And it's proven to be a pain. There's bolts everywhere. Alright, here's the Blazer taken apart. That other core support doesn't have these big pass-throughs and stuff, so I figured it's just going to be easier to leave this one in place and just move the fenders, outers, and inners over. So that's the plan. Alright, today we're going to get on this K5. We need to start working on the sheet metal here. So I got Kyle with me here. And we're going to pull this hood, get this in storage here for a minute. Then I'm going to start working on this driver's side. We'll change the door and the fender here. So I'll put you on time lapse for some of the removal process. Okay, as you saw in the time lapse, she's off. Man, there's a lot of hidden bolts, and your brake line runs through the skirt and all kinds of fun stuff going on in there. But here's why she's coming off. Look how rotted the inside of this guy is. If you couldn't tell that from underneath, she's just pretty rotted over the years. So the other one that we got to go on it is way better. But while we're right here, as you can see, this thing's super nasty. I think it's leaking out of here. I'm gonna look into that while we can address that. So maybe we'll get on with pulling this door. We'll get this driver's side taken apart, and we'll go from there. Okay, while this fender's off, I have access to this here gearbox. We're gonna take it off. I've got a 2-wheel drive gearbox ordered. We're gonna crossover steer this thing. So, got my steering unhooked, got my lines bleeding into a bucket here. Got the steering shaft separated there. So I'm gonna let that bleed, and then we'll crawl underneath it and zip the bolts from the frame. I'm going to inspect the frame, and I have the welding brace plates, so we'll do that. I'll clean that frame all up. We'll weld the braces in. I'll put in the 2-wheel drive gearbox, possibly a steering gearbox brace while all that's off, and crossover steer this thing. So stay tuned for the details.